What did you buy as an adult because you were denied it as a child? I bought an ice cream cake for no reason once. The freedom is palpable. There's a whole other world when you find out that you can walk right into a store, buy a birthday cake, and nobody asks you whose birthday it is. Not one person checks. You can literally buy a cake just because. Edit. I get excited when I get just 10 upvotes and 1 comment. This is a whole another level. I'm going to be riding this high for a full year. This calls for a cake. Edit 2. I didn't get a birthday cake because the frosting gives me a terrible headache. But I did stop by H-E-B and picked up a 7-Up cake. Box of 64 Crayola crayons. The one with the sharpener. Also all the chocolate. All the little rich kids had those when I was a kid. Then I grow up to learn it's only $4? How much could they have really cost in the 90s, mom and dad? It was certainly cheaper than a carton of cigarettes, and there was always money for those. But no good crayon money. I finally bought a house and have left it largely empty because I grew up in a hoarding household. So I guess I technically bought space. Every year we had a yard sale. Massive fucking thing. Parents hated clutter. Grew up, slowly but surely the internet keeps telling me that this die-cast race car or that video game console is worth hundreds of dollars. And I had the shit in mint condition. But Dad grew up without much in the way of material things. My mother purchased him his dream guitar in 1988 under the condition he never sell it, except that he had to in 1991 when the company he worked for shut down and he had a mortgage due and 2 kids under 6 at home. Mom was literally dirt floor and outhouse poor growing up, so she hated hanging on to sentimental things. If I know something has value, I keep it until I need the money from that object. And I have every family photo starting the day my mother was born. I could have way more room, but fuck that. I might actually need $2,000 for an emergency and I can get it in about a week on eBay. Hobbies for my kids, the ones they want. I wanted to play sports and play guitar but was always told no. I wanted to learn to play literally any instrument, but was denied. I wanted to play hockey too, but wasn't allowed. It wasn't because of money. I was put unwillingly into other activities that I never asked for or wanted. So, when my kid asked for cello lessons at the age of 7, they got cello lessons. When my youngest said they wanted to give up soccer for ballet, we swapped soccer for ballet. My only rule is they have to finish the season. They are not allowed to join a team or group and quit partway through without good reason. They have to finish the season before quitting. Thank you for doing this for your kids. I'd do anything for those little assholes. I wanted the pottery making wheel and kit from Michael's Crafts when I was a kid. Mom's husband said that was gay and told her to get me another model car instead. I always think about the pottery I would have made in an alternate universe. Sometimes I eat dessert first, because I'm a grown-ass man and no one can stop me. My mom always told us to eat dessert first so we didn't overeat. She knew we would eat the dessert, even if we were full. She's 80 years old and still eats dessert first. If I make it to 80, I'm just going to eat ice cream for dinner, so technically it won't be dessert. I'm not going to make it to 80 because I've discovered ice cream makes an excellent dinner. Grapes. Fucking grapes. They are a delicacy in my mind because my parents would never buy them because they were too expensive. The other thing, beverages in restaurants. We only ever got water. To be fair, restaurant soda costs like it was made and imported from the moon. We were only allowed one soft drink when we went out to eat. Had to make it last the whole time, or water. We don't have free refills in Australia either. All of my siblings and I have retained the habit as we grew up. Makes it cheaper to go out at least. A Build-A-Bear. I had always wanted one growing up but was always told no because it was too expensive. I finally decided to do it and went through the whole process of making one and filling it with love and wishes. You know, the whole magical process they do for the kiddos. I haven't slept with a stuffed animal since I was little, and yet I can hold onto my little bear throughout the night and wake up holding it. Whenever I feel sad or homesick, I just cuddle with it, and it honestly helps. It may be silly to others, but sometimes your inner child just needs something to feel safe and comforted when life gets overwhelming. And that's okay. Don't let anyone take away what brings you joy. I loved Build-A-Bear as a kid. I think everyone should make a Build-A-Bear at least once in their lives. An American Girl doll. I had a childhood friend who took a trip to NYC and surprised me with an American Girl doll. It was a Just Like You doll. I loved her so much. I didn't come from a great home life, being raised by a single parent. We had financial struggles. One day, my mom went behind my back and sold the doll. I was heartbroken, but my mom argued that we needed the money. I'm now 27 and just purchased my first American Girl doll. It was secondhand bought through eBay, but I have no regrets. My cousin's parents are incredibly selfish, vile people. They would constantly treat themselves and their kids got scraps, sometimes literally. My cousins endured physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. At one point they kept the older sister from talking to and seeing the younger because older sister told about the abuse. I was still a teenager myself but snuck letters and phone calls between them for years, and facilitated secret visits when I could drive. One cousin who is a year older than me wanted the Samantha American Girl doll her whole life. For her 30th birthday, her older sister and I bought one for her with a couple of outfits and accessories. They were secondhand but in beautiful shape. I wrapped everything in white gift boxes and bows with handwritten letters from me and her sister, then shipped the packages in a big cardboard box. She wept when she opened the gift. I love those cousins so much, and a ton of our childhood was spent together. When I was little, my grandma bought one of those fiber optic flower lamps. I was obsessed with it and always asked her to turn it on. She ended up putting it in an empty fish tank so I couldn't touch it. I now own 3 of them and I turn them on whenever I want. My aunt had an oil raindrop lamp that I was absolutely obsessed with. It was always moving and I couldn't figure it out as a kid. Then I got tall enough to touch it. Big mistake. It's mineral oil. But even knowing a bit more how it worked, I was still amazed at the effect. Decades later, when they sold their house to move to a much smaller place in Arizona, she gave me the lamp. She said I was the only one that ever liked it or paid attention to it. So now it is in my den, and I turn it on whenever I want. She also had 2 of the fiber optic flower lamps, but gave those to someone else. I liked those too, but not as much as the rain lamp. My mom's friend had one of these and she actually let me play with it and even touch it every time we visited. But we didn't have one in our house. My mom thought it's tacky. I've told my future husband about that just as a childhood memory, and he bought me beautiful fiber optic flowers that I didn't turn off even at night. Somehow it's so endearing to read that other people have similar memories from their childhood. I couldn't always eat fast food as a kid, so when I became an adult I ordered a ton of it all the time, and that was a mistake. When I was little we always had to share a breadstick order at Pizza Hut. I have no shame in admitting that I'll order breadsticks now with no intention of sharing, like an absolute glutton. Red lipstick. My mom let me wear makeup starting at 13, but I was not allowed to wear red lipstick ever. Even at 17, when I was about to leave home, she'd make me throw it away if I bought any with my own damn money. She said, "Only whores wear red lipstick." So, I wear red lipstick all the time. It's my thing. Well, my mother said the same thing. It wasn't only whores wear red lipstick. It was, you can only wear red lipstick if you have good teeth. Since I waited until I got older, bought white caps and wear red lipstick. Guitars. After buying about 20, it dawned on me that no amount of guitars will put one in the hands of me at 10 years old. That's kinda how I feel about the Doc Martens I buy now. I still keep buying them, but I often think how it would have felt to have that pair I coveted as a 13 years old. And yes, I could have bought them myself. I worked. But my mom would guilt me into giving her my babysitting and grocery bagger money to pay her credit card bills she didn't want my dad to know about. And I kept her secret. I wasn't denied it as a child, but we never had a recliner growing up, and I always thought of them as status symbol or sign of making it or being an adult. So, when I made it, I got a recliner. Now, I'm a successful, functioning, reclining adult. That's how I felt about sectional sofas. Corner couches, as I called them. Weird, but anytime I'm at a parade or fireworks show I buy whatever my tiny 5-year-old self would have wanted. A light-up unicorn sword? Yep. I love it intensely for that night and then give it to a friend with small children. Healing me and paying it forward. Buy the weird thing. Feeding the giraffes at the zoo. It's just a second and it's over, it's not worth it, my mom said. I feed all the animals at the zoo now. The only one that's ever been a disappointment was budgies. They weren't really hungry, but that was only $1, so who cares? I did this as an adult, I think it was like $10. Being that close to a giraffe's tongue and feeling the little reverberations from the leaf being lapped out of my hands was truly amazing. Such a perfect opportunity for core memories to be made. To me, it was worth it. Shoes I like. Anything I like. But really, shoes. I bought hundreds of pairs of shoes, mostly boots. There came a time when I had to move and downsize, and that's when I realized I had a serious problem with impulse control surrounding shoes. I wasn't allowed to wear what I wanted. My mom wanted a girly girl, and I'm not that. I have better impulse control now, but still a wonderful collection of boots. Anyway, today my mom asked why I had Lucky Charms s'mores cereal, as I had never eaten those cereals as a kid. Well, Mom, I wasn't allowed to eat sugary cereal as a kid, but now I'm 47 and I can eat what the fuck I want. Everything LOL. Gaming PC, massive desk, nice desk chair. Concert tickets, alcohol, nice clothes, nice shoes. Posters, decor, everything. To be fair, it's probably for the best that you were denied alcohol as a child. This might sound dumb, but for me it was that thing that sits on the counter to hold a roll of paper towels. I was always told as a kid that we couldn't afford to waste money on one. Now I have one in every room to overcompensate. When I turned 18, I drove myself down to Walmart and got a case of pop and some sugary cereal, specifically Reese Puffs. My mom was really pissed. She called my dad, who told her, "Be happy he's not buying cigarettes, booze, and porn." For me, it is the opposite. My parents bought me and my brother nice things, but then fought constantly about money and oftentimes tried to make me and my brother feel ashamed for not showing enough appreciation for it. All I wanted was a functional, safe, and happy home. So, as an adult, I strive for minimalism and frugality. I take great delight in being frugal and living as basic as possible. I wear plain clothes, drive a plain car, and do not use credit for anything because fuck keeping up with the Jones, and fuck my parents' warped priorities. What did you buy as an adult because you were denied it as a child? Write in the comments. Also, do you want a second part? Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Bye.